I swear I will never forget the smell of stew mixed with iron, thick and heavy in the air. I thought it was goat meat. I thought it was normal food. But when I learned what it really was, my stomach turned, and I have never been the same since. This happened when I was 15. When school closed, my mother said I must spend the holiday in the village with her elder sister. She told me, "You are a woman now. You must learn from my sister, Mama Ebra. She knows how to keep a home. She knows how to keep a man." I didn't like the idea, but children in those days had no choice. I packed my clothes, and we traveled to the village. The compound was large, with 3 mud houses, a yam barn stacked high, and goats tied near the back. My uncle, her husband, was strong, tall, and respected in the whole community. People greeted him everywhere. But when people talked, they talked about his wife. They said her food was the best in the land. Men joked that even the ancestors would leave their shrines just to taste her stew. Women said they could never match her cooking no matter how hard they tried. People laughed when they said this, but I noticed something. Their laughter was always nervous. Their eyes shifted as if they feared being overheard. When I arrived, my aunt hugged me stiffly. She wasn't wicked, but she wasn't warm either. Her eyes were sharp, like she was always measuring me. From the first night, I helped with chores. Fetching water. Cutting vegetables. Pounding yam. She gave me instructions without smiling, and I obeyed. Her food was indeed sweet. Thick soups, pepper stew, yam porridge that melted on the tongue. But there was always something I could not explain. A taste that stayed behind in my mouth. Not pepper. Not salt. The taste of iron. One night, I woke up thirsty. The house was silent, but I heard a slow, steady sound from the kitchen. Stirring. I crept closer. The door was half open. Firelight glowed. She was there. Standing over the pot. Her wrapper loose around her waist. She was humming a low song, strange and old. Then I saw it. Drops of thick red, falling between her thighs, into the bubbling stew. She stirred it in, calmly, like it was palm oil. Then she whispered, "He will eat. He will stay. He will never leave me." I froze. My legs locked. My chest beat so loudly I thought she would hear me. She paused and turned her head slightly. I ran back, lay on my mat, stiff as wood, eyes wide, pretending to sleep. At dawn, she served the stew. My uncle ate like a starving man. He smiled, licking his plate. "No woman in this world can cook like my wife," he said proudly. My stomach twisted. I said I wasn't hungry. She looked at me for too long, her eyes sharp, before turning away. From that day, I avoided her food. I said I had stomach pain. I pretended to be full. But her eyes told me she knew. Little by little, my uncle changed. His strong chest shrunk. His shoulders drooped. His eyes sank deep in his head. He looked like a man carrying a heavy sickness. But his hunger for her food only grew. He followed her like a dog, begging for stew. Sometimes at night, I heard him whisper, weak and desperate, "Please, just a little more." And always, at midnight, came the sound of stirring. The smell of iron filling the house. 2 nights later, I woke again. I told myself not to look. But the sound drew me. I peeped once more. This time, she bent low over the pot, her wrapper open. The blood dripped steady, steaming as it touched the hot stew. She stirred with her left hand, her right hand rubbing her stomach. Then she said clearly, "His life is mine. He will never know another woman." My throat closed. My body shook. She suddenly stopped, lifted her head, and sniffed the air, like she sensed me. I jumped back so fast I hit my shoulder on the wall. I ran to my mat and covered myself. My heart beat in my ears until morning. At the stream, I overheard the women. "That woman is not ordinary," one whispered. "Look at her husband," the other said. "He is fading while she looks younger every day. Her cooking is too strong. Something is inside it." They both laughed, but their laughter was nervous. Their eyes darted around. Nobody dared say more. The dream started. I dreamed of my uncle crouched on the floor, eating stew with both hands, shoving it into his mouth like an animal. His stomach swelled and burst open, spilling only red liquid. I dreamed of my aunt standing over me, pressing a spoon of stew to my lips, forcing me to swallow while I cried. Sometimes I woke up and saw her in my doorway, standing in the dark, watching. She would turn away without a word. I stopped sleeping well. My eyes burned in the mornings. My hands shook when I fetched water. By now, my uncle hardly left the compound. He begged her for stew all day. Neighbors joked, "Ebra, you have tied this man with your food." She smiled politely. But her eyes never softened. His body grew weaker, but he praised her more. He called her his only joy. He said he could never eat from another woman. The third time, I made a mistake. I peeped again. She was stirring. The blood dripped. She whispered and hummed. But this time, she stopped suddenly and turned directly to the door. "Who is there?" she called softly. My heart stopped. I pressed my hand to my mouth. She walked slowly to the door. I scrambled back, running to my room. I lay flat on the mat, shaking. The door creaked open. I kept my eyes shut, forcing my breathing to stay slow. I felt her standing there, watching. The air grew heavy. After a long silence, she left. I cried quietly into my cloth until morning. One evening, she cooked a large pot of stew. The smell filled the house, stronger than ever. My uncle ate like a man possessed. He licked the spoon, the plate, his fingers. Halfway through, he coughed. His body shook. Foam spilled from his mouth. He clutched his chest and collapsed. She screamed, tore her wrapper, rolled on the floor. Neighbors rushed in, but he was gone. People said poison. Some said stress. Some whispered witchcraft from enemies. Nobody dared accuse her. Her eyes stayed dry. I stood in the corner, staring at the steaming pot. My stomach burned. Because I knew the truth. After the burial, I begged my mother to take me home. I never went back. But I still see her sometimes, at weddings or funerals. She looks fresh, young, untouched by time. Men still praise her cooking. They still lick their fingers, smiling like my uncle did. And every time I smell stew, my chest tightens. My stomach knots. Because I cannot forget the bubbling pot. The iron smell. The red dripping steadily into the food. And I know, she is still feeding someone.